Hello and welcome back to another episode of World Tour on Football Manager 2021. Now, since the last episode, we have played 5 league games and 1 Coppa Italia game. So we started off with a Serie A game against Genoa, which we won in the 82nd minute with an Adriano Lucidi goal. We then faced Torino and came back from 2 goals down to end up drawing 2-2. Lucidi on the score sheet yet again, and Pecorino getting the equaliser again on the 82nd minute. We then suffered our biggest defeat of the season so far, a 5-0 defeat to Inter. They were just dominant from start to finish. We didn't really get a sniff of an opportunity at goal in this one. Then we faced Brescia at home and we managed to win 2-1. We went 2-0 up. They got a goal back in the 69th minute, but they couldn't get an equaliser. Then we faced Foggia in the Coppa Italia 4th qualifying round, and it went to extra time. We were 1-0 up thanks to Pecorino after 35 minutes, but Mirko Antonucci equalising with just over 10 minutes to go led to us heading to extra time, and it was Pecorino again who scored what was the winner in the 94th minute during the first half of extra time, which incidentally leads us to the first round where we'll be playing against Fiorentina, but that's probably next episode, or might not even be in an episode. And then finally, we've just played Monza, a team who came up with us in Serie A last season, and we beat them by 1-0. Alessio Landi getting the goal on the 9th minute. Now, obviously, it's December, so the transfer window is closed, but there has been some future transfers agreed. So we will start off with the 2 outgoings, I guess. Pedro Delgado is one of them. He's joining Famalicão, that's how we say it, on the 4th of January. How much did we sell him for? 925k. Valued at 1.1 million, but he wasn't happy that he wasn't going to play, so I just agreed to sell him, and we've managed to get some money for him. 32 years old. It's quite a big loss compared to what he was signed for, but he wanted to leave. I'm not going to stop him. And then the other sale is Michael Kingsley, another centre midfielder. This guy sold for 1.1 million, so a little bit below value yet again, but it was the same thing. He wanted to leave, although it does say there that he's willing to fight to regain his place in the first team. He wasn't willing to fight previously, so that's changed in the past couple of weeks. Again, making a slight loss on him. He was signed for 2 million, not as big a loss as we did on Pedro Delgado though. And then we have replaced both of these with this centre midfielder, Niccolò Fagioli, coming in from Brescia, joining us on the 2nd of January. How much have we signed him for? We signed him for 115k, so slightly below his value. So a pretty good deal, I think. He can play at attacking centre midfield, he can play defensive midfield and centre midfield, all comfortably. 4-star rated advanced playmaker in centre midfield. That's where he'll generally be playing when he does play. Brought in more for adding competition to the centre midfield places. Of course, we've got Malamo and Philip Clark, who have been our starting centre midfielders so far this season. But I think Fagioli is an improvement on both of those. And the player that I want to focus on in today's episode is Adriano Lucidi. You saw he scored a few goals in the games that we played offline. He has played pretty good. It doesn't say so in his average ratings, but he's been grabbing goals for us, an assist as well. And he's just been a pretty decent player on the right wing. Of course, Landi is who we looked at last episode, I believe. He's obviously on loan, but Lucidi is a contracted Spezia player, and if we're not fielding offers for him in the summer, I'd be very surprised. So 2 games that we are going to play today are the Udinese and Atalanta games. We start off with the Udinese game. It's away from home. Udinese are currently 15th in the league. That's one thing I haven't shown you yet. We are 8th. We're somehow 8th in the table. We've got 2 games in hand over Napoli, who are 1 place above us and 1 point ahead of us. We've got a couple of games in hand over several teams above us as well. Victory today could take us up to 5th in the table. We are 100% performing above expectations so far this season. Let's hope we can continue that away from home against Udinese. Apologies, by the way, that there hasn't been a video for about nearly a week now, but I was a little under the weather, so I couldn't really record. But I'm all raring to go and better now, ready to pick up a victory, hopefully, against Udinese. Now, we have been playing Hristov at left wing. Obviously, he's been our starting left winger, but he is currently recovering from a knock. He's scheduled to return to full training tomorrow, so he might be back in time for the Atalanta game. So we have Triple Deli, who's normally playing at left back. He is at left wing today. Lanzaro, who normally plays centre back, has moved to left back, and Romansis is in at centre back from the bench. We also have a change up front. Pecorino has generally been playing up front, I think I might change him back, actually. Lorenzo Marchi didn't do too well last game, so Pecorino and Landy are our front two. In goal, Posado, Faidi, Romansis, Coccoluto and Lazzaro in defence, Lucidi, Malamo, Clark and Tripaldelli in midfield, and then Pecorino and Landy, as I already said. Up front, a couple of players who could see themselves get a suspension today, Philip Clark and Landy, so that's something to keep an eye on if we are looking good heading into the later stages of the game. But we're sticking with our usual 4-4-2 formation with wing play, and hopefully we can get a victory against Udinese. And Udinese's manager is former Roma player Daniele De Rossi. So he was at Roma, moved to Boca Juniors. That must be a real life transfer. Didn't even realise he'd done that. Then Pescara manager, and he's moved on to being the Udinese manager. So here we go. Udinese not in the best of form. 2 wins from the last 5, 2 defeats and a draw. Whereas we are in slightly better form. 3 victories, 1 defeat and a draw in our last 5 games. Hopefully we can make it 4 victories today. And there's the league table once again. Of course, we know that we can move up to as high as 5th depending on how results elsewhere go. So we've picked up a bit of an injury. Lazzaro, our makeshift left back today, has picked up a knock. This isn't great. I'm going to have to move Tripaldelli back to left back. Lazzaro is going to come off, and we'll have to bring on Federico Quadrino, who's a player that seems to be a bit injury prone. He has had, I'll just show you here, he's had quite a few injuries. He's had a recurring torn abdominal muscle injury a couple of times at least, in recent times. I think this is the first time he's actually been able to play for me, so we'll see how he does at left wing. Of course, we don't have Hristov on the bench, who would normally be playing in that position, which is a bit annoying, but there's a chance here. Faidi into the box, headed away, and cleared further away by Ufede. Now Martha, the ball to Kvaratskhelia, and that is a mouthful to say. Kvaratskhelia has just shot wide. Nice counter-attacking play by Udinese, but it didn't really danger our goalkeeper. So we reach half-time, and it is goalless, 0-0. Udinese arguably with the better of the game. They've got slightly more possession. They've had more shots, but not as many on target. A slightly better XG as well. I feel like we need to do a bit more in the second half. Looking at how everyone is doing, Romantis is on a yellow card. I'll have to keep an eye on that. We've got a 6.4 in centre midfield. Malamo on a 6.4. Few 6.5s as well. Coccoluto, Philip Clark and Landy all on 6.5s, which isn't great. We're going to make the change in centre midfield. Malamo is going to come off. We're going to bring on Matteo Marini, and we're going to play him in a Mezzala role on support. See how we get on in the opening stages of the second half. We might have to look at taking someone else off, possibly Landy or Philip Clark or maybe Coccoluto. Romansis will have to keep an eye on as well to see how his temperament goes in the second half. Hopefully he's not going to get sent off again, because he has done that for us already this season. And we may have to look at changing the formation as well, possibly to our counter-attacking one if it looks like Udinese are going to get a goal against us. Okay, 55 minutes in, and Udinese they're heavily attacking our goal now. So we are going to make that change to our counter-attacking formation. I am going to have to take Landy off, which is unfortunate because he has been one of our better players this season, but he's not having a great game today. So Alejandro Vargas is going to come in the change that has just been so common so far this season. He's coming in as a ball-winning midfielder on defend. We may have to change. No, he should be fine, actually. We'll swap Philip Clark and Marini round, so Clark can be the advanced playmaker. We've got Marini in a deep-lying playmaker role. Quadrino can't actually play at left wing comfortably. He's at half a star, but there's nothing else I can do. I mean, I could drop him back, but okay, we'll drop him back just to make him more comfortable. Only slightly more comfortable, mind. It's not great. Lucidi playing at right wing and Pecorino up top by himself. Let's see how this tactical change works out for us, if it does indeed help or not. So free kick, Marini takes it into the box. Lucidi's there, and Lucidi scored. It does work. Adriano Lucidi gets his 5th goal of the season. The man who I highlighted at the start of the episode has shown me exactly why I did so. Marini, the substitute, with a beautiful ball in. Lucidi just sprinting past everyone and getting on the end of a volley to make it 1-0 to Spezia. And that would move us up to 5th in the table, into the Europa League places. That would be some achievement to get Europa League football in our first season back in Serie A. We're into stoppage time, but Udinese have a chance. They've got a throw in deep in our half. It's Yankov now. Ball into the box. headed away by Triple Deli, and can we get on the counter-attack? It's Pecorino with the ball. You needed to hold that up, really, but he's been tackled and dispossessed, but he hasn't been dispossessed because he's chasing after it. Pecorino's through on goal. It's Emanuele Pecorino, and we've scored again. It's 2-0. 9th goal of the season for him in stoppage time in the second half. The counter-attacking tactic has worked beautifully. Udinese do not deserve to be getting beat by 2-0 in this one. They've been well on top in terms of shots on target and possession, but they've just not taken their chances. And we have, as you see here, Pecorino, beautiful finish, 1-1 with the goalkeeper. The defender will feel a bit unlucky with that one, though. He did actually win the ball, but there was no one there to sweep up from his tackle as we reach half-time, and it is a 2-0 victory away from home against Udinese, and I'm very pleased with that. So 5th in the table, 24 points. We have a positive goal difference now, which is nice, but we were obviously -1 before today's game. Next up is Atalanta, who you can see are currently sitting 12th in the table, 6 points behind us. If we win that one, we could go level on points with Parma, who have played 1 game more than us. So we've just had a bit of information on the upcoming youth intake. So apparently there's a healthy number of new fullbacks in the pipeline. There's an attacking midfielder that we need to keep a close eye on. We've got 2 forwards considered to be fine prospects. 1 good young Italian striker from Gambara who's caught the eye. And apparently it's a terrific group of players coming through and has the potential to be a real golden generation for the club, which I'm pretty sure they say every single youth intake. There are a few negatives, but we'll not look at them because we're trying to look at things in a positive light. Here we go, it's time for the second game of the episode. It's another away game at Atalanta this time. Atalanta are 10th in the table on 21 points. They're 3 points behind us. They've played a game since we last looked at the table. We've dropped down to 6th place since then also. But a victory today, I believe this is our game in hand over some teams. In fact, it might not be. Milan playing today? No, Milan aren't playing today. Yes, I think this is our game in hand. So a victory today could see us climb as high as 4th. It's not very likely that we'd get above Parma as they have an 8-goal better goal difference than us. But first of all, we obviously need to beat Atalanta before we start dreaming of climbing the table even higher. So fortunately, the injury to Lanzaro wasn't a big deal. It was just a bruise. So I don't think we even got a notification in our inbox about that. So Lanzaro can move to centre-back for today. Romansis is going to come out of the squad. Triple Deli to left-back. And then we'll bring Velo Hristov back into the side left wing. So that's the only change we'll make to the starting lineup from the last match. We do have 3 players now who are at risk of 1-game suspension for picking up too many yellow cards. Coccoluto at centre-back, Philip Clark in centre midfield, and Alessio Landi up front. Let's hope that none of them get another yellow card because they are all key players in key positions on the field. So here we go. The teams come out from Atlanta playing in their blue and black home kit, us in our white and black home kit. Hopefully we can get a result today. It's Timmermans with a throw-in. First opportunity now. Great tackle from Triple Deli, but that's going to be intercepted by Trust. And now Rice has it. Plays that to Pedro. Now Pobega, through ball to Saide. Saide with a shot, and that's just pulled wide from him. We are playing our 4-4-2 with wing play, our usual starting formation for the start of this game. But I think I might change it to counter-attacking if it doesn't look like it's going to produce the goods. But saying that, Landi is just sprinting past everyone. Landi is through on goal now. It's Landi with a great chance, but it's saved by the Atalanta goalkeeper. Apparently Atalanta play ball possession sort of tactic, controlling possession tactic. It's Cucoluto's the header, and it's a good save by Gasparini. So our counter-attacking tactic would sort of play against that quite well, I would imagine. But we'll just see how it goes. Saide with the ball again. Plays it forward to Atlas. Now it's Pedro. Through to Aguimang, and it's a great save from Posado. It's end-to-end stuff here in the opening 10 minutes or so of this game. Atlanta have a corner now. It's Tsimikas with the ball in. Is that Kostas Tsimikas? Liverpool left-back. Interesting. Pecorino has it now for us, though, on the right-hand side. He needs some support. Doesn't get it. And fouls Saide in the end. Throw in. Just inside our half. Timmermans takes. Gives it to Pedro. Timmermans, isn't that a drink? I think it is. I'm sure they do a strawberry beer or something. Aguimang with the ball into the box. Cleared. And Pecorino has it now. Now it's Clark. Philip Clark with a chance to engineer something for us, hopefully. It's Clark moving forward. Finds a pass to Lucidi. Lucidi with a great chance here. And Lucidi scores. It's 1-0 after 20 minutes. I'd say this is against the run of play once again, but our counter-attacking is doing very well against these top sides in Serie A. It was Philip Clark who ran pretty much a quarter of the length of the field, I would say. Nice through ball from him. Lucidi just out-muscles the defender there who tried to win the ball from him and then places it beautifully past the goalkeeper to make it 1-0 to Spezia. But Atalanta could fight back immediately. Tsimikas with the ball in, and that's headed just wide by Trust. So we are currently, as things stand, up to 5th in the table, level on points with 3rd place Parma, 4th and 4th place Roma. Throw in right on the halfway line. Triple Deli takes it on his left-hand side. Now Hristov's got the ball. Skips past one defender. Cuts inside. Hristov still with the ball. He takes it himself and it's just pulled wide from Hristov. That would have been one hell of a goal. Corner kick. Tsimikas whips it in. Pedro, the ball falls to him. It's come back to Aguiman, but he can't get a shot in. Tsimikas with the ball in again. Lucidi heads it away and we've gotten away with one there as Pecorino comes away with the ball. And we are about to reach half-time. But first of all, there's another corner. It's Tsimikas with the ball in. Morato's there! And right on the stroke of half-time, Morato has scored a header. It's his first goal of the season. Tsimikas with the assist from the corner. They have looked very dangerous from corners and very dangerous in general so far in this first half. So we go in at half-time level at 1-1. And I think we are going to make our tactical change. If we can hold on for a draw, I'll be happy with that. Of course, if we manage to counter-attack and get a winner, that would be even better. The only issue is, actually that's not an issue, so we're going to take Hristov off. He's on a yellow card and he's on a 6.5 rating. So Landy's going to move to left wing. Hristov coming off. Alejandro Vargas coming on for his, what seems to be every single week, every single match that he's coming on the bench in the second half, if not at half time. Playing in his favoured role, which is a promise that I've given to him, so hopefully he's happy about that. Lucidi is looking a bit tired at right wing, so we might have to look at taking him off. We do have Vanni Chili on the bench as well as Lorenzo Marchi who can play there. We'll leave him on for the time being though because he is one of our better performing players so far today. Faidi not doing too well on a 6.4, might have to keep an eye on him in the second half, but we will move into the second half and hopefully we can at least hold on for a draw. As I say that, Atlanta have a chance deep in our half. Tsimikas with the throw-in. Vargas heads it away, but it's going to come straight back to the danger area with Rice. Tsimikas ball in. Pedro's there with a volley and that's over the bar. That would have been an excellent finish from Pedro had he managed to pull it off. Corner for Atlanta again. Yankov takes it. Who was that? Pedro at the near post yet again. Another chance for him. And 73 minutes gone. We are going to make that change. Lucidi is going to come off. He's on a yellow card, but he's also pretty knackered out there. One of our best performing players today. Vanni Chili is going to come on for him at right wing. We still have one more change that we can make. Faidi slightly improved his performance at right back, so we'll not think about taking him off. No one else is looking knackered, so we'll just leave it at the two changes for the time being. If we need to do anything, we will in the future. But Malamo with the ball into the box, headed away by Yankov, and this could be a horrific counter-attacking opportunity for Atlanta. Brenner running forward with the ball, missed tackle. It's Rice. He's practically through on goal. It's Rice for Atlanta. Good save. Brenner, how has he missed? He's missed an open goal. Brenner has missed an open goal for Atlanta. He literally had to hit that on target and it would have been 2-1. So we're going to make our third and final change. Philip Clark is looking very tired in the centre of midfield. So we are going to bring on... Who should we bring on? If we bring on Marini, he got an assist last time. We'll bring on Matteo Marini as our final change in centre midfield with about 8 minutes left of the match. Hopefully we can hold on to this draw. If not, grab a sneaky late winner. But it looks like it's Atlanta who are going to have the chance to get a sneaky late winner. It's Yankov with a throw-in. Finds Pessina. We need to win the ball from him here, but we don't. Because Pessina goes past everyone and shoots, and Matteo Pessina's scored. 88 minutes gone. 6th goal of the season for him. And it's happened again. We've conceded late on. I was going to say in a game where we should be winning, but we really shouldn't be winning this one. If you look at the number of shots that they've had compared to us, 22 shots, 8 on target, and there's the full-time whistle. It's a deserved victory, really, for Atlanta. 2-1 defeat for us. So that result knocks us all the way down to 9th place, but it is very, very tight from 9th up to 3rd. There's only 3 points between all those sides. So still plenty to play for, of course. But most importantly, we're keeping away from the relegation zone so far. 10 points clear of the final relegation place, which Sampdoria currently sit in. Hopefully we can stay away from that for the rest of the season. But it's a deserved win for Atlanta today. I can't really have any complaints about that defeat. Incidentally, at the top of the table, Juve seem to be running away with things a little bit. They're 10 points clear already of second place Lazio. They've won 12, drew 2, and lost 1. So that 3-2 narrow defeat to Juve at the start of the season is looking a pretty good at the minute. You can see they just beat Torino 2-0 in today's games. So looking ahead to the next episode, and I think we're going to have a bit of a tricky episode. We're going to do the Milan and Napoli games back to back. That's a pretty terrifying few weeks of football. Juve, Milan and Napoli all within the space of a week. But next episode we will do the Milan and Napoli games. Hopefully we'll still be on course for keeping away from the relegation zone. Fingers crossed, still challenging for a Europa League place, maybe. Which means off camera, we are going to play the 5 league games against Fiorentina, Roma, Sassuolo, Sampdoria and Juve, as well as the Coppa Italia first round match against Fiorentina. But that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out, hit the notification bell to stay notified, and I'll see you next time.